entity in Egypt came to me and said, I want to build this pyramid. And he gave me the design for one of the Great Pyramids. As a contractor, could I do it?
I don't think so. My co-author, Robert Boval, is a construction engineer. This was one of the reasons we teamed up, because we're able to bring different skills to bear on this problem. Robert is a construction engineer by training. He spent 20 years building enormous buildings in the Middle East. And his background was specifically as a setting-out engineer. And Robert, therefore, has looked in depth into the construction aspects of the Great Pyramid from a professional point of view. You know, Egyptologists have the view that the pyramid was built by teams of men hauling blocks of stone up ramps.
Yes.
And that's the view that is presented in all the popular texts as though it were a fact. Again, there is no evidence for that view whatsoever. It's a simple fact of construction that human labor cannot haul blocks of stone weighing tens of tons each, and some of the blocks in the pyramid weigh more than 70 tons, and there are blocks in neighboring temples that weigh more than 200 tons. That human labor simply cannot haul blocks of stone up a ramp that has an incline steeper than 1 in 10. And to take a 1 in 10 ramp to the top of a 450-foot tall structure requires a ramp almost 1 mile in length, involving about 5 times as much material as is used in the Great Pyramid itself.
Wow.
And that material is to be found nowhere around the flat desert plateau on which the pyramids stand. And furthermore, the ramp itself would have had to have been made of blocks of stone as solid as those are used in the pyramid, otherwise it would have collapsed under its own weight. There's a great mystery regarding the construction of these monuments. In fact, Robert and I have put out a suggestion through various construction engineering journals in Britain to get a team of people together to try to really puzzle out how these monuments were built. We feel we have to dispense entirely with this Egyptological nonsense about slaves and gangs of men drawing blocks of stone up ramps a mile long, and we feel we have to look into this problem very seriously at 3 times. And on one of those occasions, which happened just after a great festival that was taking place in Egypt in 1995, the so-called the Eid that follows the holy month of Ramadan. There were 30,000 citizens of Cairo on the Giza Plateau having a picnic. They were having a holiday. And 200 or 300 of them decided to climb the Great Pyramid, even though the guards didn't want to do that. And myself and my wife Santa joined those climbers, and we climbed the Great Pyramid in broad daylight illegally. The interesting thing was this, that the climb itself is physically dangerous. I've climbed it on 2 other occasions when we climbed it alone without other people climbing it, and that was dangerous enough. But to climb it when hundreds of other people are climbing it is astonishingly dangerous. And the biggest danger of all is the other people who are passing you going up and down on the monument.
Domino effect.
A domino effect. You can literally get knocked off, and if you fall off this monument, then you're going to go all the way down to the bottom, and you're going to die, and it's going to be very, very messy, strawberry jam. And the situation that I started to wonder about was this. The Egyptological scenario sees thousands of men swarming all over this monument.
I've seen the movies.
Yeah. Transporting blocks of stone weighing 2.5 tons each minimum. That's the lowest weight of a block of stone in the pyramid. Now, 2.5 tons is approximately, 4 family-sized automobiles in weight.
Big, yeah.
And the Egyptological view is that hundreds or thousands of men are gaily swarming all over the pyramid, hauling these blocks up and down.
Well, when you
I can tell you it's not possible. You can't even walk up and down it safely with just a couple of hundred people.
Graham, you can tell me that. When you tell them that
when I tell them that, they ignore it. This is why we feel that the Egyptological establishment has to be bypassed, that it is no longer relevant to this debate. It has shown that it is not intellectually competent to deal with the staggering challenges that these monuments represent. And as we show in the message of the Sphinx, Egyptology is also a deeply corrupt and dishonest discipline, which has been involved in most peculiar scams and scandals at the pyramids over the last 20 years, and which has not been honest with the public about certain matters that are taking place then, which has kept silent while the Sphinx and the 3 Great Pyramids have been hijacked by 2 powerful multimillionaires.
And then we're going to Washington, D.C. to take back the White House! Ah! There's a group called White Dudes for Harris. Have you seen this? White Dudes for Harris. Anybody know? Are some of you here? White Dudes for Harris? Doesn't sound like it. But I'm not worried about them at all because their wives and their wives' lovers are all voting for me. Every one of those people is voting.
Who's going to carry the boats and the logs